Hello, my friends, and welcome to episode 90 of the Nourish and Strengthen podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the gut-brain connection. We're going to talk about why your digestion is actually impacting your mood, your energy, your cravings, your hormones, and so much more. We have heard that our gut and our brain are so intertwined, right? But we're going to dive into exactly how that works. Have you guys ever noticed one of my favorite examples of this is when you're stressed, like so stressed, and you start getting gassy, or like if you get diarrhea when you're nervous or something. That's a really common example of how what's going on in our brain is directly linked to what is going on in our gut. Okay, so we're going to dive into what this connection is, how it works, how it impacts your mood, metabolism, hormones, even your weight. So if you felt foggy, anxious, if you felt irritable or bloated, your gut really might be at the root of it. But the good news is there is a lot you can do to help with this. Okay, so let's first start with just kind of talking about what is this gut-brain connection. This connection is often referred to as the gut-brain axis. So your gut and brain are connected by the vagus nerve, and this is going to act kind of like a two-way communication, like portal between your digestive system and your central nervous system. So this means that, your mood, your stress response, your digestion, they're all deeply intertwined together through that gut-brain axis. And this matters even more for women in perimenopause, women over 40, because our bodies are so much more sensitive to stress and inflammation. And if your gut is out of balance, you're going to be feeling it in your mood, your energy, your sleep, your cravings. You're going to feel that gut imbalance quite a bit more. And our gut health is going to impact how our brain functions. So if you feel, common symptoms of perimenopause are, foggy thinking and forgetfulness and moodiness and things like that. It's very, very linked to your gut. So did you guys know too that about 90 to 95% of your serotonin, which is your feel-good hormone, is made in your gut and not your brain? Pretty crazy, right? So if you're feeling like just kind of off emotionally, or like brain fog, or just kind of like low-key anxious all the time, it could be that your gut is where you need to be focusing more of that effort on. Okay, so let's talk about how our gut health affects our mood, hormones, and metabolism. So let's first start with that brain fog and moodiness. So gut dysbiosis, which is basically just a fancy term for when your gut bacteria is imbalanced, meaning you have an overgrowth of that bad bacteria, not enough of the good bacteria. That gut dysbiosis can trigger having brain fog, anxiety. It can even trigger some like low-grade depression. So if you feel like you've got some kind of mental health challenges going on, I don't want to tell you to not listen to your doctor, but maybe before going on medication, try addressing your gut health and see if that helps. Because inflammation in the gut can lead to directly impact inflammation in the brain. And so if you feel like super forgetful, maybe a little dramatic, maybe a little moody, your gut could easily just be inflamed. And when your digestion is affected, like you're feeling sluggish or bloated, it can literally impact how your brain processes and thinks and how resilient you feel emotionally. It's pretty crazy. Your poor gut health can also affect hormones. So when you are constipated, or when you are, bloated, gassy, when your digestion is not working well, it can actually lead to estrogen dominance, because our digestive system is how we detox excess estrogen. So chronic constipation almost always leads to higher levels of estrogen. Okay. Also cortisol. So when our stress hormone cortisol is chronically elevated, that can be a result of gut imbalance as well. Your metabolism, weight. So a healthy gut can help regulate blood sugar, cravings, fat storage, and imbalanced bacteria can increase those hunger signals, those hunger hormones, and can actually increase your cravings for sugar and carbs, which is going to make it much harder to stick to a healthy nutrition plan, right? So it might not be that you have a willpower or a discipline problem. Again, it could be that you need to focus on your gut. So if you've never really given gut health much thought, and you're having any of these issues with cravings, with maybe some estrogen dominant symptoms, maybe some brain fog, moodiness, kind of just other brain issues, mental health issues, I would highly suggest looking at gut health and seeing if there's something going on there. So how do you know if something could be going on? So I want you to ask yourself if any of these things are commonly happening for you. Frequent bloating or gas, brain fog or trouble concentrating, low mood or irritability, fatigue even after sleeping all night, sugar cravings, emotional eating, poor sleep, chronic anxiety, and that feeling of being like wired but tired at night. None of these things are normal, you guys. If you're feeling any one of these things, or especially a couple of these things, this is literally your body talking to you. Okay, your body is telling you something is not right. And I highly encourage you to look at gut health as one of the first lines of defense here. So maybe you're thinking, okay, I think my gut health might be off because I'm having some of these symptoms, but what do I do? So I'm going to give you a few things you can do, start doing today, that will help support that gut brain connection. Okay, you don't need anything fancy. You don't need extreme detoxes or anything to start feeling better. I'm going to give you some very actionable things right now. Okay, number one is eating more fiber-rich and colorful foods. This is probably the best thing you can do for your gut. Aim for at least 25 grams of fiber from veggies, fruit, seeds like chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, oats, beans, things like that, because this good fiber feeds the good bacteria. And when you have more of that healthy, good bacteria, it's going to support regular, healthy digestion and better mood regulation. Okay. Second thing you can do is add fermented foods and or a probiotic. Okay, so you can start with sauerkraut or kimchi, or if you don't like those kind of flavors, I love kefir. Yogurt is great. If you like miso, that's a good one too. Or if you don't want to add those, maybe those things aren't really your jam, try adding a high quality probiotic. Both Transform and New Ethics have ones that I love. That's going to help support your digestion as well and help feed that good healthy bacteria and improve the growth of more healthy bacteria in your gut. Okay. One thing to note here is if you have taken antibiotics recently for a surgery, an illness, anything like that, you really want to double down on taking some probiotics to kind of rebuild that healthy gut bacteria. Number three is reduce gut stressing habits. So what might those be? Eating really quickly. If you're always in a rush, you're always just like scarfing down food on the run when you're doing other things, that's not great for your gut health. Over caffeinating, skipping meals, eating a lot of high processed foods, all these things are going to result in imbalanced gut bacteria. Okay, so what I want you to do is slow down, chew your food thoroughly, avoid eating while distracted, try not to eat when you're overly stressed, try to just focus on before you eat, am I in a good place, right? Am I feeling calm? Am I feeling relaxed? That means your body is in a prime spot to digest your food really well, okay? The fourth one is managing stress. And so that's kind of along the same lines of like just making sure you're feeling relaxed before a meal. Same thing just in life, right? Deep breathing, getting in plenty of walking, yoga, doing things that you love, being out in the sun. All these things calm the vagus nerve, which is that connection system between the gut and the brain, right? And cortisol is going to, or I shouldn't say cortisol. Cortisol is very, very necessary, right? Chronically high cortisol is going to negatively affect that gut permeability. And so lowering stress, focusing on healthy cortisol levels is focusing on gut health. It's one and the same, okay? And the last one is so important. It might be one of the most important one, but it is prioritizing your sleep. So getting enough sleep is going to help support gut lining repair, microbiome health, and just healthy hormones in general. And even just one night of poor sleep, you guys, can negatively shift that gut bacteria, increase cravings, increase hunger, and just make things feel not nearly as good, right? So supporting your gut, guys, does not have to mean you cut out everything you love or you spend hours trying to figure out, what gut health protocol to do or what gut health supplements I should take. It all starts with the foods you're eating, how you live your life, and how you manage stress. These are the root of so many things, especially in perimenopause. It's not just about your macros or your workouts or your supplements. It is about how you live and approach life. I can't stress that enough, especially when it comes to gut health. So if you've been feeling like moody, foggy, or just kind of off, I would highly encourage you to look at those gut health symptoms, see if you're struggling with any of those, and see if there's anything you can tweak there to help you improve your gut health, which will also have a snowball effect to improving your stress, your hormones, your weight management, all things like that. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you guys next week.